Alright, here we go. The final steps for the Lockbox build. First up, I'm making 3 sprockets. The sprockets will help support the knob from wiggling around, and it should also, I'm hoping to give it a little bit of a clicking feel as you turn the knob. It should click in certain places. It ended up working fairly well, not as well as I had hoped, especially for the time it took me to make these things and drill all those holes. Sanding them up now and ready to move on. I'm going to drill holes in the lid of the box. It's going to be a 3/8 hole. I think I have a 3/8 dowel, so everything is going to be attached to the dowel. So I drilled the holes, I'm just sanding them out, and now I'm just making the pins. They're going to end up being like half circles. So I drilled those holes out as well, and it was time to move on to making the knobs. And speaking of which, shout out to Joe for watching all my videos. I appreciate your support. The knobs, I made them as big as I could to give them lots of leverage when you're turning them. That way I could keep the box nice and tight. I had to drill the centers out of the knobs so they'd sit over top of those sprockets I made earlier, and then measured and cut. Now I'm making the spacers. The spacers will go inside the box again on the dowel, so I did have to drill them out 3/8 of an inch. And you see here I'm just sliding them on the dowel to make sure they fit. So they'll keep the lock from wiggling up and down when you're trying to turn it. Here I'm just cutting out the dowels and putting them on those half circles or the pins, so they'll be ready to go in. You can see in the background there I've got the spacers sitting on them. The spacers are just loose, so they'll wiggle around. And here I am actually gluing the box up. It was fun. Everything fit together just good enough. Wasn't great, but it is what it is. I got the job done. Lots of tape to hold it as tight and in place. You can see I got the sprockets already glued down to the box on top. And here we go. And we're ready for a little bit of assembly. So I had to take the hinge off in order to sand the box. So I'm just putting the hinge back on now. And then I put a little bit of like a yellowish kind of stain on the box, and then I went over it to try to antique it a little bit, and now I'm going back over it with a darker stain. It looks, I think, a lot nicer with the darker stain. And now we're ready for those pins to go in. Pins were easy. I just had to put that spacer on the pins, and then put the dowel up through the lid, and then push the knob on and make sure the knob was glued to those 3/8 dowels. And that's it. I was surprised how sturdy it was. There was a little bit of a clicking feel in the knobs, and there was no give at all to that lid, which was nice. And overall, I think it was a success. Any guesses on the combination to the box? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.